Chapter 13. Ling's parents' house was buzzing with conversation, the clinking of wine glasses and the warm glow of chandeliers. Orm stood beside Ling, dressed impeccably and pretending not to care that her stomach twisted into knots. It wasn't the food, or the people. It was him. The charming man who just walked through the door and greeted Ling's mother like an old friend. Tan skin, sharp smile, smug eyes. Orm's ex. He spotted her and waved. "Orm!" "Wow, didn't expect to see you here." Orm forced a polite smile. "Neither did I." Ling turned slightly, taking a sip of her wine. Her grip on the glass tightened. "I didn't know you two knew each other," she said, too casually. "He's a family friend," Orm said. "Our families used to vacation together." Ling didn't respond. She watched the man make his rounds, stopping to compliment Orm's dress, in front of her. Orm laughed politely, stepping closer to Ling as a silent peace offering. Ling's arm looped around her waist, possessive. They made it through dinner without a scene, but the tension thickened like soup in the air. Ling was quiet, too quiet. The ride home was silent. Orm glanced at Ling a few times, but Ling didn't look back. Her fingers tapped the steering wheel in a steady, irritated rhythm. By the time they reached the house, the tension had curdled into something heavier. Ling didn't wait for Orm when she stepped out of the car, heading straight for the front door. Orm followed, nerves twitching under her skin. As soon as they were inside, Ling turned to her. "How close were you two?" Orm blinked. "What?" "That guy, the one who kept staring at you like he still had a claim." Orm scoffed. "You're seriously asking me that?" "Yes." Orm crossed her arms. "Do I ask you about every cheerleader you fucked?" Ling's jaw clenched. "So something did happen." "Oh, don't start," Orm snapped. "You have no right to talk. You've screwed half the women in this city." "That's not the same." "Why? Because now you're my wife and I'm supposed to have been waiting in a tower like some saint?" Ling took a sharp breath and turned toward the stairs. "Fine," she said coldly. "Forget I asked." "Ling!" Orm called after her. She didn't stop. "Ling, wait!" Ling paused at the foot of the stairs, her hand gripping the banister. Orm's throat was tight. "He kissed me once." Ling didn't turn around. "It wasn't even real. A peck. I didn't feel anything. I was 15. Silence. Orm's voice softened. "My first real kiss was with you." Ling turned slowly. Orm looked away, embarrassed. "You were the first person who ever touched me and made me feel anything." Ling walked back down the stairs, slowly, her gaze unreadable. "I don't want anyone else but you," Orm whispered. "Even when I act like a brat, even when I push you, it's you." Ling stopped in front of her. "Say that again," Ling said softly. Orm met her eyes. "I want you." Ling's lips parted slightly. Her hand cupped Orm's cheek, brushing a thumb across her skin. "Good," she murmured. Then she kissed her. Deep, slow, claiming. Orm melted into it. There was no fire this time, just heat, slow and inevitable. Ling's hands slid down her waist, and without another word, she lifted Orm and carried her to bed. Ling laid her down gently, eyes never leaving hers. Orm's breath caught. Ling wasn't rough this time. She undressed her with reverence, fingertips trailing over skin like silk. When Ling leaned down and kissed her again, Orm arched into it, hands tangling in her shirt. "I love you," Ling murmured against her lips. Orm froze for half a second, eyes wide. Ling paused, brushing her nose against Orm's. "I mean it." Orm swallowed. You do?" Ling smiled faintly. "Every time I touch you, Orm, every time I look at you." Orm's eyes stung, her heart thundering. Then her voice came, soft and unsteady. "I love you too." Something cracked open in both of them. Ling kissed down her throat, down her chest. Orm gasped, hands grasping at the sheets. When Ling's fingers slid inside her, slow and deep, Orm moaned, legs falling open with no resistance. "Mine," Ling whispered. Orm whimpered. "Yours." They moved together, breathless and raw. Ling pushed into her. Not just with fingers, but with her whole body, straddling her, pressing their bodies close, grinding their centers together. They came like that, clinging, shaking, whispering I love yous through trembling lips. After, Orm lay draped over Ling's chest, the sheets twisted around their legs. Her body still tingled, flushed and buzzing. Ling's hand combed slowly through her hair. She was silent, but not in that distant way Orm hated. This was peace. Orm sighed, nose pressed to Ling's collarbone. I meant it. Ling looked down. Meant what? That I love you. Ling's lips curved. Say it again. No. Orm. You say it first. I already did. Orm smirked. Say it again. Ling rolled her eyes and pulled her closer. I love you, you insufferable little brat. Orm smiled into her skin. I love you too, you possessive, bossy jerk. They lay like that for a long while. Then Orm asked quietly, Do you think we're really married now? Ling paused. We've been married. I know, but this feels different. It is different, Ling said. Now you're not just my wife by contract. Orm tilted her head up. Then what am I? Ling cupped her cheek. Mine, in every way. Orm bit her lip, smiling. Good. She leaned in and kissed her again. They didn't sleep for a long time after that. The next morning, Orm woke up wrapped in warmth, limbs tangled with Ling's, sunlight streaming through the gauzy curtains. Ling was already awake, tracing slow circles against her hip. Good morning, wife, Ling said softly. Orm groaned and buried her face in Ling's neck. Too early. I made breakfast. You cooked? No, your mother did, but I plated it. Orm laughed against her skin. That counts. They eventually dressed, Ling in her usual tank and jeans, Orm in a silky robe that she wore just to annoy her mother. When they came downstairs, Orm's mom and Ton were already eating. Ton raised an eyebrow. You're glowing. Orm gave him a look. Shut up. Did something happen? Her mom asked innocently, sipping tea. Orm dropped into her chair. Nothing. Ling sat beside her, smirking. She told me she loves me. Ton gasped. She what? Orm kicked him under the table. Her mom clutched her chest. Finally, my daughter's in love. Shut up, all of you, Orm mumbled, hiding her face behind her glass. Ling kissed her cheek. Ton raised his spoon. To the lovebirds. Orm sighed, but she was smiling. Later that afternoon, Orm sat in the garden behind the house, her feet curled beneath her on the lounge chair, notebook resting on her knees. She wasn't writing, she was thinking. The words still echoed in her mind. I love you. Ling had said it like she'd always known it, like it was fact, not revelation, and Orm had said it back. She hadn't planned to. But in the moment, with Ling touching her, looking at her like she was precious, it had just spilled out. She traced circles on the page with her pen. Love wasn't supposed to be like this, not arranged, not practical, not thrust into her life like a storm. But now she couldn't imagine any other version of it. She heard the back door open and turned her head. Ling walked out, phone pressed to her ear, nodding as she ended the call. She spotted Orm, gave her a small smile, and joined her. What are you thinking about? You, Orm said. Ling raised an eyebrow. And how I used to think you were a mistake. Ling laughed. And now? Orm leaned into her. Now I think you're the only thing I got right. Later that evening, Ling offered something unexpected. Let's go shopping. Orm blinked. Shopping? Ling nodded. You need new clothes. I have clothes. You have cardigans. Orm frowned. Cardigans are classy. They're grandmotherly, Ling said, already grabbing her car keys. They ended up in a sleek boutique downtown, the kind with chandeliers and too few price tags. Orm trailed behind Ling like a reluctant child, tugging at the hem of her dress. Don't make that face, Ling said, sorting through a rack of satin and lace. You're going to try some things on. Orm's eyes widened as Ling pulled out a sheer slip with embroidery across the bust. Oh, absolutely not, Ling held it up to her. It would look perfect on you. I'd rather die. You already wear less when I take your robe off. That's different, Ling smirked. You're mine, Orm. I like dressing what belongs to me. Orm flushed from her cheeks to her collarbone. You can't just say stuff like that in public. Why not? It's true. A passing shopper raised an eyebrow. Orm turned away in horror. Ling leaned closer, voice low. You'll try it on. Or I'll help you try it on. Orm squeaked. Fine. Inside the changing room, Orm stared at herself in the mirror, mortified. The slip clung to her body like a secret, sheer where it shouldn't be, soft lace teasing at her thighs. It was beautiful and scandalous, and she felt like she was about to explode from embarrassment. Orm? Ling's voice came from outside the curtain. Don't come in. I won't. I just want to know how it looks. It looks like I should be arrested, Ling chuckled. That good? Shut up. There was a pause. You know, Ling said, voice lower now, I've never seen you blush like this. It's cute. Ling, please, Orm groaned. Let me see. No. I've already seen you naked. This is worse. Ling didn't say anything else, but a moment later, the curtain shifted. Orm gasped. Ling! Ling slipped in anyway, eyes scanning her slowly. God, you're gorgeous. Orm backed up until her spine hit the mirror. You're not allowed in here. You knew I'd come in. Ling stepped closer, taking Orm's hands. You look perfect. Don't hide from me. Orm looked down. You really like it? Ling kissed her shoulder. I love it. You're mine. Orm shivered. Back at home, Orm flopped onto the bed with a dramatic groan, burying her face in a pillow. Ling set the shopping bags down and smirked. You survived. Orm's muffled voice came through the pillow. Barely. That shop assistant looked at me like I was a hooker. That shop assistant was jealous. Orm rolled onto her back and narrowed her eyes. You enjoyed that way too much. Ling climbed onto the bed beside her. Watching you squirm? In lace? Trembling when I said you're mine? Yeah, I did. You're a lingerie pervert. Ling grinned. Only for you. Orm grabbed a pillow and smacked her with it. Ling caught her wrist mid-swing and leaned in. Want to know something? What? I couldn't stop thinking about how it would feel taking that slip off you. Orm's cheeks darkened again. You already took it off. Yeah, but I want to do it slower this time. Orm sucked in a breath as Ling leaned down, pressing a kiss to her throat. You're going to wear it again tonight, Ling murmured, and I'm going to make you beg. You're insane, Orm whispered. Ling kissed her jaw. And you love me for it. Night fell, and Orm stood in front of the mirror in their bedroom, adjusting the slip Ling had chosen. Her skin still tingled with remembered touches from earlier. She heard the door open. Ling stepped inside, pausing when she saw her. Slowly, deliberately, Ling shut the door behind her. Lie down, she said. Orm swallowed, her breath catching, but did as she was told, sinking onto the bed, legs curling beneath her. Ling crossed the room, eyes never leaving her. She climbed onto the mattress, straddling Orm with practiced ease. Stay still. Orm's breath hitched. Ling reached out, brushing the strap off one shoulder, then the other. She kissed each spot the fabric left behind. Slow, possessive. Do you know what you do to me when you wear this? Orm shook her head, wide-eyed. Ling slid her hands beneath the slip and up Orm's thighs. You drive me insane. Her fingers found Orm's heat, already damp, already wanting. Orm gasped. Ling, I told you I'd make you beg. She slipped 2 fingers inside her, curling slow. Orm moaned, hips lifting, helpless under the rhythm. Ling bent low, her voice a breath against Orm's lips. Say it, Orm whimpered. Please. Ling didn't stop at please. She curled her fingers deeper, then withdrew slowly, making Orm whimper at the loss. But before Orm could protest, Ling pressed forward, sliding their bodies together. Skin to skin. Slick warmth meeting slick warmth. She ground against her slowly at first, holding Orm's wrists down against the mattress. Orm arched, breathless, her thighs parting wider. God, Ling! Ling leaned down, lips brushing her ear. You're mine. Only mine. Her hips rolled again, harder this time, and both of them moaned. The friction, wet, searing, electric, sent shocks up Orm's spine. You don't get to let anyone else touch you, Ling whispered. You don't get to kiss anyone else. I won't, Orm breathed. Never. You're not some cheap whore, Orm gasped. Her eyes flicked open, but she didn't stop. If anything, her hips lifted faster. Ling growled against her neck, her rhythm demanding, claiming. Only I get to make you feel this way. Only I get this. Orm broke first, her cry muffled in Ling's shoulder, her whole body trembling. Ling followed with a hiss, muscles taut, her hands clutching Orm like she'd never let her go. They lay tangled in silence afterward, chests rising and falling. Orm turned her head. I love you. Ling smiled. I know. The next morning, Orm padded into the kitchen in a soft robe, her hair slightly mussed. Ling had already left for work, but the warmth of her presence still clung to the sheets and lingered in Orm's body. Her brother sat at the counter, eating cereal and scrolling his phone. He looked up when she walked in. You look well-rested. Orm gave him a look. Don't start. He grinned. No judgment, just saying. She poured herself some tea and sat across from him, trying not to squirm at the soreness in her thighs. Hey, he said after a moment. A bunch of my classmates are going out for drinks tonight, some alumni too. Orm raised an eyebrow. And? I thought you might want to come, you haven't been out in a while. Orm hesitated. Is he going to be there? Her brother nodded. Probably. There was a pause. Then Orm said, Fine, I'll go. Her brother blinked. You sure? Orm sipped her tea, eyes steady. Yeah, I'm not afraid of him, and Ling trusts me. Still, her fingers tightened around the cup. The tension was already brewing. That evening, Orm stood in front of her closet, staring at the rows of dresses with arms crossed. She wanted to look good, not for him, for herself, for Ling. She reached for a silky emerald green dress, tasteful, fitted, but not overly revealing. It dipped just enough in the back to make her feel bold. As she pulled it on and adjusted the straps, she heard the bedroom door open. Ling leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, eyes scanning her slowly. You're going out? Orm met her gaze in the mirror. Yes. With your brother and classmates? Orm turned, lips curving. You mean classmates and my ex-boyfriend? Ling didn't respond. She just walked over and stood behind her, resting both hands on Orm's waist. I don't like it, Ling murmured. Orm raised an eyebrow. What part? The idea of him seeing you like this? She pressed a kiss to the nape of Orm's neck. Jealous? Ling's voice dropped. Possessive? Orm smirked. Don't worry, I'll be back before midnight. Ling pulled her closer. Don't make me come find you. Orm kissed her chin. You'd enjoy that too much. Orm slipped on her heels and grabbed her purse, pausing in the foyer to check her reflection one last time. Her hair framed her face in soft waves, lips glossed, eyes clear. Ling stood by the doorway, arms still folded, watching silently. Orm stepped up to her, resting a hand on her chest. I'll be fine. Ling searched her face. I don't like the idea of him being near you. I know, but I'm not yours because you keep other people away. She leaned in and whispered, I'm yours because I want to be. Ling's jaw tensed, then her hand slid around Orm's lower back, pulling her in for a firm kiss. When she pulled away, her voice was low. Come home to me. Orm nodded, cheeks flushed. Always. She turned and opened the door. Ling didn't stop her. She only watched, jaw tight, eyes unreadable, as Orm stepped into the night. Orm's heart was beating fast, not from fear, but from adrenaline. Whatever happened tonight, she would face it, and tomorrow she would still be Ling's.